Welcome back to another edition of Dogging It. I'm Molina Mike, and it's been a great day of pool so far. If you guys haven't tuned in, it was a morning of sweaters, to say the least. Two matches that were pretty closely contested. A great comeback by both teams, actually. One of them fulfilled a comeback, and one of them didn't. Two more matches are on deck, but we got a lot to discuss with Emily Frazer of Matchroom Pool. So I'm real excited to have her on. I appreciate her making time for us. Emily, via Lugo, Spain, how are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Or I should have said hola. Learning so much. I
When
feel like
when in Rome, right?
we we've literally been talking about how long we've been here for. But the funny thing is that we only really see inside the venue or the walk from the venue to the hotel. But look, we're in a great location and we're enjoying being in Lugo. The team here, AGP, have made us feel really welcome and they're like our little second Spanish family now. And it's a shame that obviously David and Fran were knocked out of the World Cup so
Right.
early against Philippines because they were instrumental to getting this off the ground for us for the event. You know, they introduced us to the guys on the on the ground here, and basically made it happen for us. So that's really appreciative of Fran and David, and they've stayed as long as they could. But I think they just wanted to get home after getting
I'd imagine
busted
it's
so
been it's
early.
been a it's been a long event for everyone. How long have you been out there? Well, you and the team, I should say.
Yeah, I think some of the team have been out a little bit earlier because we did our Fast Five netball event. Um, Today's Saturday, isn't it? So we did our
Oh, okay.
Fast Five netball 2 weeks ago on the Friday, and so basically, like Phoebe and Brendan came to the netball Friday morning with their suitcases, and then they had to go at 4 o'clock to go to the airport, and then I had to go into like operations mode. So it was really funny. We run the netball with the rest of the team. And then we all flew out Saturday morning, first thing, obviously, to Spain. So we've been here about 2 weeks now. I feel sorry for the team. They haven't really had a day off, but I
Well,
think they had a few beers last night, so that made up for it.
it's been successful, so at least it wasn't a flop by any means, and not that you guys ever do any kind of letdowns when it comes to events. But how do you guys stay motivated and inspired throughout? I'd imagine some of these days can be rather long. What are the spirits like with you and your team while you're out there just grinding away?
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. We spend a lot of time with one another, and we want to strangle each other. They're like the family
You,
that you kind of don't choose, but
but you
no,
can't live without either, right?
exactly. If we took one person out, we'd be gutted. So, look, it's just the thing is that we've grown a passion for the World Nine Ball Tour, and we've grown a passion for building the players' careers, and the event itself is what motivates us. And some of us have our own routines of, okay, make sure we go for a run. Like I squeezed in like a run yesterday and crammed in like 6 days worth of not exercising into one, and it really cleared my head. And I know that the team, everyone like knows each other so well that we all boost each other, and we've just gone a little bit bloody crazy and like
You kind of
to
have to
just,
be though, right? If you're doing all this, you kind of have to be
yeah,
a little,
cool. you
yeah.
can't be you can't be a normal person in this job. But I think it's the players really that gets you all motivated, and seeing the crowds coming in and picking up over the weekend because we've got the amateur event next door. The players with their walk-ins or just how they're interacting. We've got a really good team, and like, don't get me wrong, it's tough, and it's long days and long hours, but we all we have a really strong team now, and I'm really happy about where we're going with Matchroom Pool and the announcements that we're doing and the events we've got coming up. Um, yeah, I think everyone just needs a well-deserved little break when we get back.
Not that it'll last for very long, but you did mention how all this got started. Was it more of an interest from you, from Matchroom Pool, to get into Spain, or was it the businessmen in Spain wanting to reach out to you guys, given the success that Fran and David have had? How did that come about exactly?
It was more from our side of things. With like the Whirlpool Masters was always in Gibraltar, and with Fran having such a successful like campaign basically in the last 12 months, well 18 months,
Right.
we saw like the Spanish crowd all of a sudden that came over to Vegas really last minute, and we knew that there was a demand in Spain for nine ball. So we'd been approached the idea. We approached the idea with the two of them and said, "Look, let's do an event over here." We weren't really sure what event it was going to be, and then the Spanish Open back to back with the World Cup of Pool seemed like a great fit for it. And basically, with Spain as the defending champions, that works really nicely. So
Yeah, I'd say so.
yeah, I know. It's like we know. It's like we're promoters and we think like
I
defending
think you
champions.
just I think you just rolled into a really good spot. I'm just kidding.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's probably we rolled into
it,
a really good spot, like
it
the
it
perfect
all
five.
came together. Yeah, no, you guys are doing a great job. Do you feel like this, or not? Do you feel is this going to be more of a future when you pair the World Cup of Pool with a major event back to back like this?
Um, yeah, I think so because it's a case of we're taking all of our events out of the UK just because look, we're not silly. The Whirlpool Masters, Brentwood was a great host for us, but the crowds, weren't great. The only crowd that we see in the UK is the UK Open and the Moscone Cup. So we're going to take everything out of the UK and move it into other countries. I'm really impressed with what I've seen here in Spain. Look, I always know that a Wednesday 1 p.m. when you got three predominantly
Realistic,
eight
yeah, yeah.
matches, you're not going to pull in 500 people. But for an event that is just taking place on its own, no other tournaments happening around it because the amateur event was only happening at the weekends. No other tournaments. We're in Lugo in Galicia, and we've been filling this bank of seats up, and the walk-ins have been really great atmosphere. The atmosphere for the final of the Spanish Open, that is the most enjoyable match where I've sat in an arena and watched like basically on level with the Moscone Cup match. Just because the atmosphere and the
You mean
fact
like
that
the
you have
energy?
the energy, yeah, because
Yeah.
we had someone from China and someone from the Netherlands in the final, and the crowd were behind the both of them, and they were
Couldn't believe
both
it.
engaging with the music. It just shows that nine ball is a truly global sport. It's exciting, it's thrilling, it's dynamic. So and also everyone in that arena that came across to the viewers at home. So anyone watching at home is going to want to tune in for the next event. So I'm really, really pleased that we came to Spain. Spanish Open is going to be an annual event. We've got plans for the World Cup of Pool next year somewhere else. But, it's the new opens everywhere we go. It's, I think I'm getting lost. Like, I think it was Catchy said to me last night. He goes, he goes, "Oh, Emily, the Asian Open, what's the prize money?" And I was like, "Oh, 200,000." He's like, "What's first place?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "How do you not know?" I was like, "I'm losing count of how many events that we've got." And I don't want to say the wrong thing. Obviously, like you sit for a minute and think about it, and you double check. But there's so many events now that you're kind of, but it's good. The Opens have their own format, which is really
Right.
nice because the players, they all turn up, they know what to expect now. There's none of this bullshit player meeting stuff like that. Oh, everyone's got to,
It's
I don't
consistent.
know, pot this ball, or they've got to say this, and no toilet breaks, blah 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 blah. Everyone knows what this crack is. They turn up, it's nine ball, it's the matchroom rules. They know what the arena is going to be like, and they know what the equipment is. It's just, I love it. It's consistent, it's professional, and that's everything that we're trying to push.
How is that translated to the numbers that you've seen through Sky Sports and your broadcasters globally? Have you seen growth in viewership since this new tour has been launched?
Well, I'm really excited to see what our DAZN Spain figures are, because for the first time, DAZN Spain have taken the full Spanish Open from day one of the live stream, and as well as their other territories. But obviously here in Spain, we always get very good viewership in Spain and Italy across DAZN. So that was also another reason why we came over to Spain. If you put two and two together, then you might think that maybe we're going to go to Italy soon.
I was that was what was already turning in my head. Yeah, because you always drop these little nuggets that end up
Always
blossoming
just
into
like a
something later
little
on.
a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
sprinkle, but
What it's like when I saw all the push of Quack over the last 4 or 5 months. I told Mike this the other day. I said, listen, I don't know anything, but it seems like there's something going on with Vietnam, and then sure enough, this week it was announced that the Asian Open is going to be in Vietnam. How excited are you for that? And how did that all come about? How fast was all this deal done? Give
Like,
me some details.
I don't even know. There's Andy Holmes is our head of broadcast at Matchroom, and he literally, when we announced it, he texted me and he went, "Wow, that is like we've just got that over the line." Like, just because it's totally different for us. It's a new territory.
It's a big
We got
market.
Yeah, and we're working with Via Content, who's actually one of our existing partners across our nine ball pool platform. So we know the team at Via Content well, and so naturally we want we work with partners that that we have good relationships with, and so when just trying to get everything over the line, it's mainly the TV production that was
Right.
the main concern. Everything else is fine. It's just the TV production because we may call, I don't know, a sound supervisor something and they call them something else, for example. So
Right.
it's just the language. But when I went over there for the site visit, so I flew out the Monday after
I
the
saw I saw on
Open.
Instagram, so that was another reason why I thought something's going
Yeah.
on over there. Yeah.
Well, I booked the trip on the Friday before. That's how quickly things look. Listen, we don't fuck around. And the amount of people that come up to us and go, "Oh, I want to do an event here. I want to do an event here." Within 2 minutes, I already know if they're serious or not because I can tell from the conversation.
Right.
So many people are literally dying to have a Matchroom event in their territory. And it's now a case of we stand back and go, right, okay, where's the demand? Where are we seeing the figures coming through? Where should we go and obviously grow our World Nine Ball Tour? And we've seen that demand in Vietnam, but only because of Dong's, his recent participation, and that they've been having a lot more players traveling to our open
Right.
events. They've been rising in the rankings, and rightly so. And we all saw in first time in 17 years that they made it past the first round for the World Cup. So
That
they
was a
deserve.
surprising stat because I know they've been playing really great lately, but I didn't realize that.
No, I didn't realize either. And it's a case of we want to go to areas where we can grow these opportunities because there is a huge demand in Vietnam, but there's a huge demand in Asia that we haven't been in that area. But it's just because we're so UK focused, and that needs
Right.
to change, and it will change. We're going to make a massive step into the US market, so that's going to be super fun. No more just one US Open or anything like that. We are going big on the world tour, so we're going big in Europe, we're going to go big in Asia, and we're going big in the US. So we've noticed all of our areas. We've seen where our viewing figures are all sort of coming in. We've seen where our ticket sales generate better. The figures that the guys are pulling through on just our socials for the first 4 days of a tournament. So every open event that we do, each broadcaster takes the first 4 days. So the first, say, European Open last year, the first 4 days was on our YouTube channels. Now, all of a sudden, the next European Open, there'll be more broadcasters taking the first 4 days because now everyone's got a streaming platform.
It
So
used to just be the back end, right? The last few days.
yeah, of course. So you've got like Viasat, who, Scandinavia, who always took our final 2 days, but they've got Viaplay, which is a platform where they can show multiple tables, which they did for the World Championship. So now all of a sudden, even though more broadcasters like DAZN Spain or DAZN USA have taken from day one, our viewing figures on socials are still hitting that mark. So we're not just, live on YouTube, we're still live on broadcasters around the world, even from the live streams section. And the kind of views that they're pulling through, those first 4 days, it's like, it is absolutely wild. So obviously we're very, we overthink who we put on streaming tables. It's a very
Of
sort of
course.
smart
Yeah.
decision that we do on that side of things. But the to go back on, sorry, on the Vietnam, when I flew out there, obviously, like I said, it was a very quick last minute trip sort of thing. They were serious about it, and I was like, great, let's go. I'm coming over. I can't come until after the World Cup of Pool. And as far as I'm concerned, everyone needs to book their travels. People need to get to Vietnam for October. We've got our dates in. So I flew out, and I didn't even realize, I'm just sitting in the taxi and I'm on Instagram story. and put the story up, and I think a few motorbikes in it with their registration plate. And then I turned up for the meeting, and they all of a sudden showed me, and it said like breaking news, Matchroom in Vietnam, and I was like, oh shit,
That quick, huh?
So look, I'm really pleased that we've done that. We've got this over the line, because it's just the start of so many more tournaments to come for in Asia for Matchroom. So yeah, I'm really, really excited.
You mentioned the broadcasters that are picking it up, which is great. How does that translate to the long-term growth of more money being added for some of these events for the players? Like not in the immediate, but let's say in the grander scheme of things, Emily. Like how
Yeah,
vital is that for that to be able to go hand in hand?
well, I think our motto is, if we're doing well, then the players should do well. So
There he is. There he is. You're up next, buddy.
if anyone's noticed, you see how he looks a lot better on camera this week, because we've got a hair and makeup artist, so she's been doing his hair and doing makeup. So
Well,
that's
they
why
called
he
him
looks so
Guapo for many years. That was the nickname, wasn't it, boys?
That's why I look like a schoolboy this week.
It's working, pal.
Yeah, I think from our side of things, we say, if we're doing well, the players are doing well. And that's why, we didn't need to put the Mosconi Cup prize money up. The players weren't saying, we're not going to play Mosconi unless you put the prize money up. We put that up because we are seeing the revenue generated through the ticket sales. So that's why we've gone up from 20,000 to 40,000.
Love it.
Again, we are a business at the end of the day. The open events, that I don't care what people say, running events is a lot of money. And I know exactly how much these events cost, even when
I'd
you're doing
imagine so.
So, we have to be very careful about how much we're spending. And at one point, it's an investment. We're investing into the World Nine Ball Tour. We're employing more staff. We're, the integrity unit. But also we're adding more events. So there's the prize money side of things. There's also the entry fees that we're looking at and is in the back of our mind. So as far as we're concerned, the open events don't make money. They don't. This is an investment that Matchroom are making. When it gets to the point where we do see a return, that's when prize money will go up. So that's how we operate, really.
It's a long game.
It is a long game. And
the takeover, baby. Let's go.
Hey, Carl, wait a minute. Before Carl goes anywhere, who do you got in the afternoon matches? Who do you got in the afternoon matches? China versus Japan and Austria against Great Britain.
Austria, China.
You're from Great Britain. You're supposed to pick the home team, man.
I'm not Wally.
I like the pick, man. I'm with you. Who do you...
Yeah, I'd love a water. Yeah, thanks.
No, it seems like a fun atmosphere out there. You mentioned Asia, and yesterday we saw on one of the posts that I had up there that talks about an Asian team playing the winner of the Mosconi Cup. Is that realistic, Emily, or were you just kind of needling a little bit?
I'm always needling, you know that, and sometimes I have to refrain myself, and I'm like, no, don't.
Oh, listen, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a needle. Look, I think early on, like years back, we were really like secretive about this Asia, versus Europe kind of tournament. There's no secret about it. We want to make it happen. It's like how everyone wants AJ to fight Fury, for instance. Everyone knows that they want it. We want to see it, but it's a case of, at the moment, our investment is into ranking events. So our investment is open tournaments. So my goal is to publish more open tournaments for the rankings, and then we bring in the invitationals. So people have more to, aspire to as such.
Right, exactly.
So that matchup will happen. It's just a case of when and where, and it's probably going to hit you at a time when you least expect it. But thank you very much.
Well, that and you're running out of dates in the year. You're filling up the calendar as it is.
Well, I keep saying to players, I'm like, look, as far as Matchroom are concerned, you can play them whatever you want. I don't care if you're going to go here for that discipline. We honestly do not care. As far as we're concerned, this is the main stage. This is the creme de la creme, the cherry on the cake, or chocolate sundae, or whatever it is. But soon enough, they won't have time. They won't be able to go anywhere else, because our calendar is going to be so stacked. They're not going to be able to do anything else. And it's not just the events. we were talking about it, last night with a big group of players, that it's not just the events that you come to for the prize money. There's the TV, there's the crowds, there's everything. It's a stage. It's not just coming to play a game on one pool table. They're coming for a TV show. Look, the players are mic'd up. It's exciting. We're trying to do it so.
And you're bringing out
viewers,
personalities in them, which I love.
of course, like people want to get to know the players, to know them. You want to root your favorite players. Like my mum, she tunes in and she's like, "Oh, this is my favorite player," because she tunes in and she listens to their interviews.
It also helps that you and the social media team have done a phenomenal job, especially these events more than any other. Just the coverage that's like outside of the table has been great. But we've talked enough about all this grand matchroom stuff. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this that was going on earlier. Oh, let me turn off the graphic. There we go. Team Philippines.
Wow.
What do you got to say? What do you got to say about that? And the same goes for you, Carl. What do you got in regards to Team Philippines?
I personally love them. I think they're great. I was really on the fence because I love the Coe brothers. I also love James and Johan. So I was really stuck as to who I wanted to win that game. But whoever you wanted to win, it was a fantastic match. And that is why we do. Come on, don't we?
Put them on the spot.
No! That is why we do.
The Asian Open.
No!
Ranking events. Oh, winter break. There you go. Oh, yeah. I saw Carl's needling post a little bit in regards to all these alternate break comments everywhere.
It's the comeback. It's brilliant. You rooting behind all of a sudden. If that was alternate breaks at that point when it's like 8-3 or that score, you kind of switch off. You're going to switch off. But and then all of a sudden the Chinese Taipei are back at the table and it goes 8-4. And then you already know that Philippines is coming back on the table to break. You kind of switched off, but it's winner breaks. The comeback is on. And yeah, they didn't get that over the line, but then you saw that happen in the Germany match. So I mean,
you saw it in Wu's match, I think early on in the Spanish Open as well. You never get these stories if you don't have that format lend itself to it. And plus you get to see greatness from some of these guys that can go and run, put you in the chair for 5-6 racks and then lock you up.
Yeah, and what I like about these two players, well, we obviously saw James at the Whirlpool Masters, but both James and Johan are really making a push to play in the ranking events. So they're saying, right, we're up for European Open, US Open, UK. I know that Johan, he had just welcomed a child, so that was why he missed on the UK Open. And it's them coming in last minute for the Spanish Open as soon as the visa came in. They're making a push to do the ranking events. And that's why it's so important to have these players representing in the World Cup of Pool, because everything should be on order of merit, with the exceptions, obviously, because it is a TV show. And also the rankings hasn't quite developed yet. We're still, 18 months in the world rankings? Yeah. So once that develops, then we're going to have a much better structure as to who gets into the events.
Chua's a joke, though. I can't believe how good he actually is. I mean, I know he was good, but because obviously he's not really played in a lot of the events. It's like,
but we haven't seen him on that stage in a long, long time, and not with that kind of pressure. Yeah.
I thought they'd get beat, to be honest. Close, but I did think they'd probably get beat. But I think the way they've played, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I did think that either Philippines or the Coe brothers would get into the final at the beginning of the tournament. So it's a shame we lost one of them, but I think all four of them deserve to be here, and you can see it in that match alone. But it's like you said, when you watch Johan play, even in the earlier match, it's brilliant. So I'm glad these two players are here representing. It's really good.
I mean, you listen, the Philippines is such a deep country. You could argue there could be 20 other guys that should be there in their spot, but they're showing that they belong where they are, and they're making a great run, and it's part of stories, it's part of sport. It's all a credit to what you guys are doing out there. It's a phenomenal event so far. I know you guys got matches. Let everybody know at home, what time does everything start this afternoon?
30 minutes. So it's 6:30 here in Spain, so we go on air at 7 p.m. So literally 30 minutes from now, we start our next match, and we are opening with Great Britain versus Austria. So,
all right. So I'll stop getting asked this question. When are we going to get Mosconi Cup captains being announced? And then I'll let you get out of here.
Now.
Is Carl?
No.
The disdain in which she said, no, Carl, I don't like your chances now.
I can't get the gig now because I'm too good at interviews or something.
Do you know what?
You are doing a great job, man.
I nearly posted this earlier, and I don't know why I didn't. I think I just forgot. But I honestly believe that we have the best punditry team in the world when it comes to Paul.
Our punditry seems a joke.
And I'm not saying it because you're here.
No, but Phil and Michael are a joke.
But when you have the four of them, and do you know why I thought it's because I went into the other room to listen to the commentary, because sometimes if I'm in the arena, I can't listen to what's going on. Went in, and the way that JJ was just speaking and how informative he is to come across to a viewer, but not patronising to a casual viewer, but good enough for the hardcore viewers sort of thing. And I'm just really, really happy to our level of production, you know, how we...
It's a good balance. It's a good, even that guy behind you, he'll break down like the layman side of 9-ball, you know, in the thick of a match. You know, I feel like it's just as vital as the technical side, you know, for those diehards that are listening in as well. It really is a good balance. And you're never going to make everybody happy, but I truly enjoy the commentary, where a lot of other things I'll just turn it off.
Switch it off. So, I think our production's world class, and the stuff we've been increasing as well that you saw at the Spanish Open. We're just trying to push to be better.
This is just the beginning, though. This is like
it's
like you've took over yesterday. This is not even started. This shit.
But I was saying this the other day. Like, I personally feel like there's two sides to it. I feel like in the Matchroom team, we haven't even peaked yet. Like, we're not even at our best. Me personally, I think I haven't even peaked yet. I'm not even at my best. So imagine what we're doing now, when we're operating like not as good as what we know we can be. And it's only because we're learning new events.
Well, it was just like 2 years ago, you had like one open event, you know, and look at you now.
I know. I think we've got a great team around us, and that's like our core team. But then, like I keep saying, it's like our extended family. Carl and JJ are instrumental being at these events, as to speaking to the players. Like, we're learning where everyone is good at what their jobs are. You know, it's just the players know when they come to one of our events what they're going to get, and so I'm really happy with the setup. And it's like what Carl said, we're only just starting, and I'm excited to make the next event even better than what it was the last year. So
you can't fake passion, and you can't fake chemistry, and you guys certainly have both. We appreciate you for coming on. I'll let you get to it, because I know you got a lot of preparation to do and a lot of work ahead of you. Congratulations on a great event so far.
I didn't answer the Mosconi Cup question.
Oh yeah. When are we getting the captain? That's
I think we will probably announce it in
on
this show.
Maybe at the World Cup of Pool.
It's the World Cup of Pool, right? Really?
No, in July. No, in a couple of weeks.
So by the European Open?
Yes, you will know who the captains are.
All right, and then they'll come on the show afterwards.
European Open, first two players they qualify. The US Open, the next two players qualify. The Asian Open, the final two players qualify, and then it's 2 wild cards.
Hold on, so you're saying one, when you say the first two players, you mean for 1 and 1?
Yeah, sorry. So Europe and USA. So it's like that. That's the system. So we cut it off from the European Open, US, and then Asia. And also, in case anyone didn't know, we obviously announced the Asian Open, but the entries are going to go on sale tomorrow.
I was going to ask you, because I saw in a post you said the 13th, but then now you're saying it's going to be opened up tomorrow. Is that right?
It's really strange for me to change my mind.
That's highly unlike you.
To be honest, we have been overwhelmed with the amount of people emailing in and the entry waiting list, to sign up to alerts. And we all had a chat about it here this morning. We were like, look, let's just put the entries out tomorrow, because we want as much time, I think it's going to go within seconds, like the amount of people that have been signing up. So Spanish time here, it's going to be 12 o'clock that the entries will open. Now,
well, like 5 a.m. Central in the US.
Yes. However, what we will be doing is we will be reserving spots for players ranked 1 to 128 on our rankings. in order to get a spot into the event. And we will also be holding local qualifiers in Vietnam for the event as well. So anyone who doesn't get to play in the event or doesn't get to be able to sign up, they can also do it via a qualifier. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to watch the Asian Open. It's going to be the best event of the year. Emily, Carl, we appreciate both of you guys for hopping
Thank
on.
you, Mark.
You guys have a great afternoon and keep killing it out there.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Enjoy.